Do your thingy.
Yeah. The slate.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
This is the intro.
Whatever, you fucking theater kid, obnoxious film kid. Do your fucking little, say your little words. Do your little thing. Just get it over with.
Hold me, just like you did in Naboo, York City. In a galaxy not so far away, this is Naboo, York City. Hosted by DarthJuliet and Nicole Marisela.
Okay.
It's been millennia.
It has.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to
Naboo, York City. We are here at episode 5 already.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know how we've gotten here. Through sheer will and 4 hours of sleep, collectively. But yes, we're going to be covering episodes 10 through 13 of season 3 of The Bad Batch. Things are kicking up. So we're going to try to speed run.
Serious.
Yeah, it's getting serious. So we're going to try to speed run. We're trying to speed run through these couple of episodes. But we're back in my apartment now.
We are.
We have some different chairs. I love my director's chairs, don't get me wrong, but these feel like we're on a talk show, kind of. So I feel like this feeds into the Delulu a little more. makes it real, like
That's
we're
true.
like we're on an actual show. But yeah, we're back. We're back in my apartment. We haven't seen each other in a hot minute.
It's been 30 years.
It's been 30 years.
You know, there was so much stuff that
there was a lot going on. For those who saw our featurette on our Instagram, I had gone to Paris. I went on a little European trip for a little bit for 6 days. And apparently so much happened in New York City.
There was a monsoon.
In the 6 days I was
torrential rain for like days.
Which is wild.
There was an earthquake. New York, it was actually New Jersey, but New York felt it.
Yeah, the hardest. We feel everything the strongest, honestly.
We take credit for everything that happens in New Jersey, apparently.
We just make news faster, you know what I mean?
And then there was a solar eclipse.
I was in the air for that. I didn't see anything at
I
all.
went to Rochester. I was really excited because I saw one in 2017. It was amazing.
I remember that one, I think. Yeah, vaguely. I think I was either in school or I don't remember, but yeah, I remember that one pretty vaguely. So
I experienced like this full total solar eclipse on in 2017.
Yeah.
And it was spectacular. So I wanted to take like the rest of my family to go see it because it was just my mom and my brother and I.
Yeah.
When we went in 2017. So we took my dad and we went up to Rochester. We went up upstate, but it was so cloudy. I was getting really upset because it was so cloudy.
Imagine getting angry at the cloud.
There's a meme like that. It's the Simpsons one. Angry man gets angry at, no, what is it called? Old man gets angry at clouds.
I don't think I've seen that one, but
I think it was just like from a Simpsons episode, but
I believe you.
it was super cloudy. Like you would look up and you don't see the sun. Like that's how cloudy it was.
Yeah.
But it happened, and it's like the lights turned off, and it was amazing. It was crazy. It was crazy. We didn't see it happen, so we didn't see the moon go in front of the sun. Like we didn't see the eclipse.
What's the word? Total?
No, we did see
totality, right?
We didn't see the sun. I mean the moon go out in front of the sun.
Oh, okay.
But it did happen. It just was cloudy.
Too cloudy to see them. Yeah.
So what we did see was like we had the experience of it. Like it turned into nighttime.
Okay.
The lamppost turned on. The seagulls, because we were at a beach. The seagulls were freaking out when it was happening.
What time it was?
It was 3:18
in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. It lasted for like a few minutes, and it was like dark. And then another few minutes later, the lights are back on.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's so crazy. You should have just like.
And then
lights back on.
And then I went to the Rebel Moon thing.
Oh, you did!
I met Zack Snyder.
Julia, so much has happened in the time that I was away for 6 days. Just a monsoon, an earthquake, the solar eclipse, Julia being an influencer.
Courtesy of Nicole. The thing is, we would have gone together.
Yes, we were both invited, but unfortunately I was going to be
You were not here.
Yeah, I was out of the States. So Julia went on her own.
I was scared.
It looked like you had a really fun time,
it was
though.
Fun. I wish you went.
I know, and apparently you met Zack Snyder, and there was you were mingling and all that, and I was sad that I missed that all. I know, but
we'll go to something else together.
Yeah, we are, but it's not like a big premiere, but we are next week.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
Excited.
We're getting the band back together. Finally, after 2 weeks. Speaking of getting the band back together, let's get into the band who's breaking apart.
Oh my god. I did not like that.
I don't find you funny.
Is that an audio? I don't know these things.
I never found you funny. I never found you entertaining. Oh my god, yeah, that's a Nicki Minaj audio. Yeah.
You have to send me that.
I never found you funny. I never found you Sorry. Anyway, yeah, let's dive into episode 10 of The Bad Batch, of season 3. So, I wrote here that we start off with the cutest force-sensitive baby in the world. Surely nothing can go wrong.
It's Star Wars.
Always, when you have a very, very cute, sweet little child as such.
A little baby angel.
Who is also, unfortunately, very force sensitive, you're not going to experience happiness for very long. And that's all courtesy of one Mr. Cad Bane. I was excited to see him back.
I know. I heard this first and I was like, it is freaking over.
It's over. It's Jover.
It's over.
I saw Cad Bane and I was like, it's bye done. It's over.
It's
bye done.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I was really excited to see Cad Bane just, doing his bounty hunting shit. That's what he's known for. So yeah, that first scene of just hijacking this little sweet baby child, knocking out the parent cold. That wasn't the first scene, but that happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. But yeah, we get introduced to this little cute sweet baby. Eyes are on him. Cad Bane's got his eyes on him, and we go into where the next scene where Emery is telling Hemlock that because Nalase is no longer in charge of Project Necromancer in this whole operation, she knows the basically the passwords to everything. So unless Emery doesn't get special access to the project, the progress is going to be at a halt. So Hemlock is like, all right, cool, fine. If you want to be, head scientist on this shit, let's give you some access to the vault.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of...
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
Okay.
Word association.
Wait, no. Is it a person?
No.
A movie?
A show. I said the vault, and the vault itself reminded me of something. I thought we were going to... It's been 2 weeks and we're totally out of whack with each other. We are not...
You saying the vault is going to make me think of something else, but I know that you're not going to think of it because you're not probably watching it.
Oh.
Which is a show that's happening now.
Oh, no.
What are you talking about, the vault?
The vibes of the vault gave me vibes of another facility in another show. And there's specific music that they play when they show these kids in the vault that I'm very it's giving this other show that we're both also fans of.
We're going to be here for 10 minutes trying to figure this out. Just play the Jeopardy music. Just tell me.
The vault gave me Stranger Things vibes with the.
Oh my god! Stop! Season 4. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be. That was me throwing the baby.
That was me. Oh, I
Do you need a tissue?
No. Don't you ever talk to me myself.
Are you sure?
No, I'm okay.
You're tearing.
Oh my god, this is like the third episode. I'm like crying.
No, this is actually.
Oh my god. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that's the vibes it gave me. It gave me the I don't remember what they call it in Stranger Things. And here they called it. No, they didn't call it anything.
But it wasn't.
It was like a facility or something like that. But yeah, in here they call it the vault. But yeah, the gifted children's facility in Stranger Things gave me the exact same vibes. Something in the music as well when we first see that room and when we see the kids in the room.
So the vault, when you said the vault for Stranger Things, I thought of the underground facility that Eleven goes in.
Oh, that's yeah.
But you're talking about the Rainbow Room.
Yes, I am.
That's not a vault.
I know it's not a vault. I'm just saying.
It's in the lab.
Right. I know it's not exactly like a.
You're like,
trying to make me look stupid. I know.
When you said
the
vault, I thought you meant the
vault
vault that they were in the desert, out in the open, they're underground.
No, sis, because it's all like white and very minimalist. That was.
Okay.
You said the Rainbow Room. Yeah, it makes me think of the Rainbow Room in New York City, 40 whatever street.
Rockefeller?
Yeah, very different vibes. Two different things.
Okay, but that's not what I was gonna tell you. What I thought of.
What did it?
Well, when Emery was saying like I want to be the lead scientist. Like I think I deserve it.
Yeah.
The episode's called Identity Crisis.
Exactly. Yes.
And we immediately cut to Emery. And I feel it's like her having the identity crisis. So I was thinking that I thought of Rogue One.
Oh.
When Galen Erso was telling Jin, I made myself indispensable, right? I put myself in the work. I put myself like they could not get id of me.
Okay.
So I feel like that is maybe the direction that we might be going with Emery.
Oh.
Maybe?
She's been thinking.
Because I don't think...
No.
That's the vibe that I got. Like,
I didn't.
She's
I didn't think about that.
Because she was so in her work before, and she met Omega and she started feeling differently.
I'll say this.
Being more empathetic and stuff.
Yeah.
Once, I don't know. I think once she sees the kids, or she has maybe like an indication of like maybe she can turn.
Yeah. I'll say this though, I agreed with you to a point because up until she was shown the vault and the kids in the vault, I feel like she was, I don't know, like, and even in her like, I should be head scientist, I feel like, sure she fell for Omega when she was first captured and kept away for all those months with Crosshair, but I feel like there was also a part of her that was like, well, they did me dirty here too, so fuck them. Let me get the power back. Let me get my lick back. And then I feel like she completely was like, oh, hold on. Like, I don't know if this is all I wanted.
The turn happens after, yeah.
Exactly, when she sees all the three. Then I was like, when she saw the three kids and she was like, oh, they're just kids. Why don't we have adult experiments and this. And you could see that she was like, oh, like, this is a lot more...
She was having an identity crisis.
Yeah, I was like, it took 3 extra kids for you to feel something, and not Omega, who was in your direct care for months and months on end.
Because it's also like there's only so much you can do without getting yourself.
I know. And she mentioned that in the past couple of episodes. She said that she can't really do much and she can't really help them out when Crosshair and Omega were trying to escape the first time. So I get it, I do. But yeah, I found that really interesting that like again that somebody could feel for you, but also they're also looking out for themselves. They're seeing how they can get to the top and this and this and this. Or maybe she's just trying to get to the top for ulterior motives. I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah, so she sees these kids and there's 3 of them. It's Eva, yeah. Eva, Jax, someone else. Oh, I can't. Sammy?
Yes, and
very casual name for these colorful children because Ava's like red or pink and
Ava is
Jax,
red. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jax is like a green looking boy. And I think Sammy's like she's interesting. She's like blue with like this.
I never remember the name, but she's the same species as Chuchi and.
Oh, okay.
And oh my God, what's her name, bro? Tales of the Jedi. No, what is it called? Tales of the Jedi? No. The little kid one.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I still haven't watched that, so I forget. But I know what you're talking about. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know about.
I wanted to make another. She calls them. Pantorian.
Pantherian.
She calls them by their number.
Yes. She calls them by their numbers again, trying to, keep it profesh. And then Ava introduced herself as Eva. As Eva, excuse me. And I wrote down this line that Hemlock says because. Eva says, "Oh, I like your glasses," and Marie's like, "Thanks." And I'm like, "Don't interact. They are only experiments, nothing more." We get it, bro. You don't have bitches. You get it.
We have a Tarkin appearance.
Winter
Soldier appearance.
Yes, as well.
Coruscant appearance.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And we see more of Coruscant a little bit too in the next couple of episodes. Yeah. And then eventually we get to the scene where Cad Bane abducts this little Force-sensitive baby, and at the very end we have Jax trying to, or not the very end, somewhere in the middle. Jax tries to escape from the vault. Mm-hmm. The troopers get involved, they stun him, and Emery says something like, "You didn't have to, do that. I have it all under control." Which I think also plays into her identity crisis, which is kind of like, do you have? Is she? How are you going to move forward as head scientist?
I think she's saying it to, not to be like head scientist, but to maybe give the kids some leeway because she doesn't start to feel. She's starting to feel something.
Yeah. I think she's trying to give them space to kind of come to terms with the fact that they're never going home, because Eva also is like, "Oh, are you gonna let us know when we're going home? Because Nala said she would find out for me, and she's not here anymore. So are you gonna find out?" And Emery's kind of like, "True." So and speaking of Nala Se, that scene between Nala Se and Emery, where Nala Se is kind of challenging her. Yeah. Because she tells her, "Oh, I'm head scientist now." She's kind of like, "So what are you gonna do with these kids?"
She speaks slowly, but in this particular
it's daggers.
It's even slower, and it feels like little stab.
It's very pointed a way of challenging Emery, because I'm sure because it's revealed that Emery was also part of this vault program type thing. So Nala Se is like, "Well, you know how bad it is." Because I imagine Nala Se saw her growing up in this sort of program or whatever facility. So Nala Se probably was like, "You've seen how bad it is. Are you going to do anything to change the system from within or not?" So I found that really good on you, girl. Nala, it doesn't look like Nala Se is losing her composure, even though she's held in captivity at the moment. So I really like that Nala Se still has this wisdom and isn't deteriorating from the inside out, being held away. And at the end of the episode is when Cad Bane delivers the Force-sensitive baby, and Emery's kind of like, "Where is he from?" He's like a newborn, practically.
Yeah, she was really hesitant that it was a baby.
Because she said something like, "Oh, he's younger than
the other specimens."
Yeah. And Cad Bane is like, "Don't worry about it, girl. You got him. Take him. I'm out of here." Takes his money and leaves, and that's kind of where we wrap up in that episode.
I forgot what she said, but he was like, "You keep saying things like that, you're gonna give yourself away."
Oh yeah. And then, so even Cad Bane is tipping on her, dude. Yeah, everyone's challenging her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I love how we just kind of end with that. I also wrote down here that Jax, who tries to escape from the facility, is on punishment for 2 days for what I can imagine is like equivalent to like solitary confinement.
Yeah.
And Eva had asked Emery, like, is he gonna be in trouble? Is he gonna be okay? And Emery was like, no, he's fine. Like, he'll be okay. So I wrote down that Eva was like, you lied. And this is another thing that remind me of Stranger Things, because when Eva said you lied, you are like Papa. Emery is like Papa. You lied. So I think I feel like that was also.
We need to put like that little clip of 11. You lied.
You are like Papa. So yeah.
But eventually, like at the very end, Emery gives Eva Omega's homemade Lula,
which I thought was really sweet. In a twisted way. Again, I feel like all these little jabs coming from everywhere, coming from Nalase and Cad Bane, and then these kids. I wonder what made her do that specific gesture.
I feel like she's realizing where she is, and the environment,
and her part in continuing this.
Yes. I feel like she's realizing that this is not what it's supposed, like what she wants to be a part of. And it's just, you're putting these kids at risk, basically. And I don't think she wants to be a part of it anymore, but she's trying to, I guess, I don't know if she's
kind of trying to like soften the blow for like animals before they're put up to slaughter type shit.
But I feel like she does have some sort of like empathy towards that.
Sure, yeah.
Or she's like, she feels bad.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I could agree to that to a certain degree. But yeah, I find that really interesting that that's where we kind of ended off after all the, for the first exposure and then the attempted escape, that we end up there with this small gesture of like, hey, I know things are looking bleak, but here's a little Lula doll, if you want.
I was going to say that I don't agree with something, but I forgot what it was. Anyway. Episode 11.
Jumping into episode...
Point of no return.
I'll say this real quick before we go into it. The titles of some of these episodes are real bangers. They make you think. It feels very synonymous to all the titles for the Clone Wars episodes.
Yep.
I was like there's always a point in the episode that you're like, that's why it's called this. It all makes sense. So shout out to whoever on the creative team thinks of these titles, because I love paying attention to those type of details. I did a web series many years ago, and I put it up on YouTube. And I also would like to, I used to try to incorporate like some lines or like themes of the specific episode into the titles. So I never know if people picked up on it, but
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. So I as a creative person and as a viewer, as just a regular audience member, I appreciate that little part that goes into the creative process. Anyway, so for episode 11, we're just getting all these appearances from very beloved characters. Last episode we got Cad Bane. This episode we have Fee. Fee shows up. And we see her getting her ship fixed up, but then
the Winter Soldier.
We got to use that X-Files sound. That one. Whenever that shadow clone shows up. So he's following her, and we see that he pulls out a knife on her, and doesn't, like, she leaves unharmed, but I think he snuck up
just in case.
Yeah, he snuck up to the ship and got some intel as to where exactly she's heading. So a very ominous opening for this episode. Some highlights of this episode. What are some highlights for you?
Early in the episode, we go into Pabu.
Yes.
And we see Omega and I forgot her friend's name.
Oh, I have her name. Liana. Yeah. Lyana. That's how she spells it. So Liana. I see it because in the subtitles. Yeah. So Liana. That was a really cute scene. Very bittersweet.
Yes. They are doing like a little memory box.
Yeah.
They're going to leave it on the island. And she gives Tex goggles.
And Omega got to pull out the goggles. Again, I feel like it's a very triggering thing to see. Those goggles. Like, put that away. We're all sensitive.
They play the Bad Batch theme really slowly. And I was about to start tearing up. And I got chills. And it's just so serious. It's this moment right now is serious.
Yeah, and the literally the cherry on the cake was that Liana's like, you guys are coming back, right? Sis.
I get.
That's the part that really tore me up the most of that little scene. But yeah, it's a really good scene. I feel like it's a really standout scene, not just of that episode, but of the entire season so far.
Whenever we have a good moment, it's always followed up with something just like, why?
Brother.
Why did the Winter Soldier have to find them?
Oh my God. So he finds them and he I don't want to say the wrong word. He plants, like, is it a detonator?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got it right. I'm a real Star Wars fan now. Oh my. For some reason, to me, detonator was like a different type of like weapon. I didn't like.
No, it's a bomb.
It's a bomb. It's a pie bomb. They're bombs. But yeah, after that super sweet moment, he fucking blows up the Marauder.
Yep.
R.I.P. to the Marauder.
What? As if we haven't gone through enough
with the Razor Crest and all that.
We've lost the Marauder.
Oh yeah,
we got it back. We.
The amount of times they've lost it and got it back, just for it to blow up into smithereens.
We can't catch a break.
No.
What is this?
Happen to us? Meanwhile, the Bad Batch are like shipless now. What if bad things happen to us? No, so so yeah, that was really annoying that they just blew up the Marauder. But I thought it was really cute that Wrecker saves the little gunk droid that he was like having beef with for like 2 seconds. Gonky. He was like, "Listen, dude, if you're gonna keep acting up, I'm gonna leave you on this island." Whoa, like that's punishment. But yeah, I thought it was really sweet that he like saved him in the end during this humongous moment of peril. But he also gets knocked out.
Yeah,
he gets knocked the fuck out in his
wrote Wrecker. Oh my God.
Yeah, he gets knocked out in his little heroic moment. So AZ sends him off to have him evaluated. And then of course the episode.
The Empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the Empire. Yeah.
Yeah. Then of course the Empire invades Pabu.
I wrote, we forget how ruthless the Empire is.
Man.
Because they're just like, the stormtroopers are so silly in the OT. But
I know.
in like the prequel stuff, I guess, they're so ruthless. They're so mean, so evil.
They're so, I don't know how to, I mean, yeah, you're hitting it on the mark, but I just, whatever.
Destroy everything in its path.
Yeah, whatever other synonyms you can think of for those words, that's what they are. Yeah. They're diabolical. They are reckless. They're terrorists. They're all these things, man.
I thought you were going to have an audio for this.
I was this close, but I can't think of anything, right? Yeah, no, and then so far as the mayor of Pabu, Liana's dad gets involved and is like, you can't do this to our island, man. You're ruining everything. You're ruining our crops and this and this and this.
The Winter Soldier was like, well, this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Oh my.
We can do so much worse. Like, you're lucky that this is just like the only thing we're doing to you right now.
So chilling. So chilling. Like, and all for Omega. He literally says, like, we know you're hiding this person. So until
this fugitive.
Yeah. So
my little baby angel.
So until you get her to us, guess what? More is just gonna happen to your little sweet peaceful little island. And it's like, man, they've been through enough. They had that fucking like what happened last season? Like it was like a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Like a tsunami type shit. So it's like they've had enough, dude. Like it really, and it really it gets so bad to the point where Omega starts to blame herself. She's like, this is literally
it's my fault.
Yeah, it's literally all because of me. They're hunting me down, and all these people are now at the feet of the Empire and all of their destruction, and that must really, really hurt for her.
She is so young, but so mature to realize that she has to basically give herself up. And she's so brave because I don't think a lot of people would do that.
No, absolutely not. I feel like it's synonymous to the I wasn't in the fandom and I didn't read the books, but I imagine it's synonymous to Jennifer Lawrence's character in The Hunger Games.
Yes.
When she says I
When she
volunteer
gives
as tribute. That type shit. Like not everybody's even if they know how important they are to the wrong side of history, they're not going to do that. So yeah, I feel like I agree. Omega is incredibly mature for her age, but it's because she has grown up in no other way. She's had to, adapt to these types of changes and the reign of this empire.
She says to Crosshair, because Crosshair is like, this is not going to work.
Yes.
And he sounded like Tech kind of when he was saying those things. But Omega says, focus on the bigger mission. I'm just a small part of it. Oh,
baby, you're everything. What are you talking about?
You. We're just doing it. You are everything.
You are everything. What's that? There's a quote. It's like, you were the best part of my life. You were everything to me. Something like that. You haven't seen that on Twitter? Whatever. But anyway, Omega is everything. Omega is everything.
I start crying.
I know. I was like, oh wow, she's really gonna go through with this.
And she does.
And she does. She gives herself up to the Empire, and Hunter, meanwhile, he's like fighting some other troopers and falls into the water.
I know that you didn't watch Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, but in that one scene where he's on the beach, where Hunter's on the beach, it's so dark.
It is dark.
It's like really, really dark. And I'm like, what am I looking at? And it just reminded me of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon when it was like those. If you've seen the two series, you know what I'm talking about. It was just so pitch black. Like, just lighten it a little.
No, and I hate that it's such a stylistic choice. Like,
but it makes sense because they're on the beach and there's no other source of light, and that's probably how it would
look. Yeah, how you would see the beach. I agree. But yeah, like, dang, dude, we can lift the suspension of disbelief for a little bit.
I don't want to be squinting.
Yeah, especially with Hunter coming out of the water again. All these missed opportunities for wet hair Hunter. You gotta come on. You gotta
give the girlies what they want.
Give the girls what they want and deserve. So yeah, he falls into the water, and Crosshair. I remember Crosshair was like, "It's okay, he's got it. He'll come out eventually." So while that's all happening, is when Omega gives herself up, and they strip her of her comms and her tracking devices because they know better. They know that she probably is going to try to have the batch kind of track her down so that she doesn't actually get captured. So yeah, she gets captured, and
there's a whole bunch of fighting basically going on.
So much going on.
There's just a lot of fighting. Crosshair's just fighting off the troopers.
Oh yeah, they were coming at him hard, one by one,
and he's trying his best,
literally,
and he has a job to do.
So yeah, since Omega is now stripped of all of her possible tracking devices, the other part of their plan was to have Crosshair shoot a tracking device onto the ship that she's on, so that way they can figure out how exactly to get to Tantus. And then all that fighting, he misses.
I let out a gasp when that happened.
I feel like the fandom as a collective, we were all just clenching,
losing our minds,
clenching real hard because I
wrote it in caps. You missed the shot. You didn't get the trick.
He missed the shot, though. He had one shot, and I feel like that for him was something that he was trying to prove to himself and to the whole batch. Like, whatever. Like, I'm healed. I've done my yoga. I've done my meditation. I have to make this shot. I'm going to make this shot. Literally, like, trips up a little bit, completely misses. It is so I like in that moment I was like, oh, I know he's disappointed in himself. He is so mad at himself right now, and rightfully so. I would be too, because again, you have this one shot to prove yourself to yourself and to your peers, your brothers, and it just
even to yourself, but you didn't do it,
and it didn't go through, and that's kind of where we end up on episode 11.
I think that's where it ends.
Yeah, the ship kind of going away with Omega in captivity. No
sight and no promises of any tracking of her. Rough. This episode was rough.
It was.
Yeah, lots of emotions here. And I wrote in this episode, I wrote for this as a note, an angel loses its wings at every tech mention as well, because those tech mentions really, they did not
This
add
is
to the lightheartedness.
I don't even know how many weeks we're in. That
472.
That I believe that the Winter Soldier is tech. I don't have any fears. I have one fear.
That tech is possibly the Shadow Clone.
Oh my god.
I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna now jump into episode 12.
Juggernaut.
This title I didn't understand completely. This is one of those episodes where I was just like, I didn't have my aha. This is why it's called this moment. So maybe we'll find it here. We kind of just pick up where we left off in the last episode. Literally just immediately Omega's taken off the ship and brought to Hemlock.
A juggernaut is a massive, I have no idea how you say this. I'm not even going to try. A massive, I guess,
Let me see.
inexorable force?
Inexorable, yeah. A massive, inexorable force, campaign movement, or object that crushes whatever's in his path.
That makes sense because have you ever seen Juggernaut from Marvel?
I have not.
What? Oh wait, you haven't seen Deadpool.
I haven't.
Oh my
We need sandbags on these chairs. I've seen the first one, but I mean, I don't.
Of Deadpool?
Yeah, I've seen the first Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah. Eons ago. I never saw the second one. It's true. I'm not lying.
I'm surprised.
It was a little violent, I recall.
It is very violent. What
yeah,
are you
but I've seen
talking
Kick-Ass,
about?
okay? I have...
Kick-Ass is really violent. How are you
It
watching these movies?
Through pure thirst.
What was you thirsting in the first one?
In Kick-Ass or in Deadpool?
In Deadpool.
That's a good question.
Nicole doesn't watch these kinds of movies. That's why I'm so...
I don't watch violent movies. I don't. However, Kick-Ass. I don't know. I think it's because I feel
crazy.
like Deadpool was so integral at the time that I was like, I need to watch this movie.
I guess this is what he looks like if you can.
Juggernaut? Jesus Christ.
He's a big guy.
Okay, I can kind of see where that comes from then. But yeah, some major points of episode 12. When Emery and Omega kind of unite back together, and Emery's collecting her blood samples yet again, back to your routine or whatever. Emery says, for what it's worth, I'm glad you're safe. Omega says, Am I? Am I really?
Because she knows she's not.
Yeah.
She's a smart gal.
Yeah. So that's another person who is challenging Emery, rightfully so, because this woman is kind of like in a state of inertia right now, I think. Kind of really, she finds herself paralyzed. So it's got to take one little clone to kind of light a fire under her ass and do something about it.
That's why, if we go back to episode 10, I wrote down the quotes. And I said, in episode 10, we see Emery think that she's actually doing good. So that's kind of maybe why she feels like, after Omega says, oh, am I? And she kind of feels just like, she's kind of teetering almost.
Yeah, true. And then the batch, now that they're Omega-less and they don't have a tracker, Omega-less, and they don't have a tracker on her, Crosshair reveals that he doesn't exactly know the coordinates to Tantus either, but he might know somebody who does. And we get a little Rampart mention.
I'm not even gonna lie. When he said Rampart, I was like, who? Put it in the Snoop Dogg. Who?
Ooh,
I had to look him up, and I was like, oh, it's this motherfucker. It's this guy. I completely forgot about him.
I'm surprised you did, because I could not stand him.
I did not like him.
Oh,
I think I just burned him out of my memory. Or it's just been a
period.
It's just been a really long time.
That's true.
Since we've seen him.
Yeah. Period. Though, burn all men out of your memory. Actually, at this point,
I completely forgot about Rampart. Crosshair also meets Fee.
Oh yeah, they meet each other for the first time. And oh my god, Fee says something about how, oh yeah, Tech told me about your sparkling personality. First of all, Tech talked about them to his little girly friend. That's how you know he loved them.
Stop it, I'm gonna cry.
That's how you know he loved them so much that he talked to them about them to his little girlfriend. Like, hello.
She says brown eyes.
Oh, so sweet, very sweet. So yeah, that's when they kind of all of them agree to go on the mission to find Rampart, and they go to an Imperial camp on this planet called Erebus, because that's where Crosshair remembers Rampart being sent off to after he was arrested.
And they get him out.
Yeah, they say something about Plan 55. I should have done my research because I don't know what Plan 55 entails.
I just thought of it as them as a group. They had these plans. Things that they could go back to and reference in case
like specific maneuvers or something,
yeah, exactly.
Right?
So things that they could just be like, oh yeah, stuff that they would only know.
Yeah,
so like, hey,
no,
you remember this? We're gonna do this.
That I understand. Yeah. But I wonder what specifically Plan 55 was.
I don't know. I didn't look it up either.
Yeah,
but that's what I thought it was. But it made me like, oh, because Crosshair said it, and he was just like, do you remember Plan 55?
And I think it was Wrecker, right?
And he was like, oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
I remember.
Do I ever, brother? So that was really sweet. And they got this man out. Rampart is bearded up.
That's what happened.
Still does not make him attractive, unfortunately.
That's what happens when you get sent off to the Empire, an Imperial camp, rather.
You get bearded up. You're a prisoner of war, basically. Like you're.
He's still insufferable.
I think I wrote that I'm not lying to you. I wrote that somewhere here.
He is still so full of it.
Oh, and these little, when they find him, I wrote down these little quotes when they find him. Rampart refers to Crosshair by his number, and Crosshair goes, "You remembered. How touching." And Rampart's like, "Are you here to kill me?" And he's like, "Tempting, but no, we need information from you." So Rampart agrees to talk to them if they get him off that island, which they do. What scared me the most is when they're doing their heist and getting this man out. Wrecker almost didn't make it onto the ship, the pickup that Fee provided. I was like, boy, do not let this happen. This is
not the time.
We cannot lose anybody else. I feel like they've been doing that a lot in this season.
They're trying to keep us on our toes.
They've been doing that a lot this season. Like there was like two scares with Hunter. There was like one scare with Wrecker of them not making it onto a ship, or like them almost getting eaten alive by something. And I'm like, we need to chill out. We have to relax. So at the very end of episode 12, we have Hemlock bringing Omega into the vault, calls it her new home. If you didn't get the ick and like just skeeves from Hemlock already, this is that moment. Yep. This is that moment. He talks about how favorable the M counts are for the specimens inside the vault, and how when mixed with her DNA, because she also, or her blood, she also has a high M count. It's like the perfect recipe for cloning.
It's like, it's so icky, but then when you go back a few episodes, when we find out about the M count, she was so happy to be maybe a Jedi. And it's just so distinctly different from that episode and that little moment to this moment. And it's just...
It's like, oh, I don't know if I want that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we end up. And the one thing that stood out for me in this episode overall was very sassy Crosshair. I think he ate that right up. It's like he's right back at home. He's fully assimilated himself back into the group. Because once you get sassy Crosshair, I think all is well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with his mental, I think all is...
He's back.
He's back. The bitch is back. It's an Elton John song. So what else for episode 12? Again, when Omega gets there, to the vault, I can already tell she's trying to calculate how to escape. Mm-hmm. So that was my thing for episode 12. I was like, okay, she's here. now we just gotta wait for the plan to play itself out. And I know she's gonna orchestrate something really smart and elaborate and hopefully quick and painless.
You just know that she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, she's not just giving herself up for no reason. She's gonna make a plan.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where that goes. So,
And that goes into episode 13.
yeah, we go into episode 13.
The Breach.
The Breach, also a good one, and also makes sense.
We had a different intro.
Oh, really? Kind of. I watched it twice, and I already. How did it open?
I don't remember, but it was different. It was a little bit more eerie.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yes, very.
Than our regular.
Yes. Oh, I wrote it here on my notes. Very ominous musical. I know. Very ominous musical opening. Everything is very eerie. So the first scene that we have here is Omega assimilating into her little group of friends, new friends, and Eva at the end is basically like, don't worry, you'll get used to everything here because the doctors are watching them 24/7. They have very limited access to literally anything entertainment, or they can't really interact with each other either. So yeah, that whole opening of kind of just like, again, assimilating into your new home and getting used to just being surveillanced 24/7.
I want to say really quickly, Omega is so nice and so mature because she sees Ava with her homemade Lula.
Yeah.
And she's Omega's still a child. Any other child would be like, that's my doll. That's mine. I made this. Why do you have it? Because I know I would. I'd be like, why do you have my doll? That's not yours. But no, she doesn't say anything like that. She
doesn't even mention that she made it.
Yeah,
which is also really interesting. And
she just says, I like your doll. I think she says that, right?
Yeah, she says, I like your doll. I think it speaks to how Omega, almost kind of like a Jedi, doesn't have these big attachments to very benign, I say benign in air quotes, benign things, because she knows now that Lula is comforting.
I was just gonna say that it was hers when she needed it, and now she's letting Eva have it because it's comforting to her. Oh my god!
Don't you just love media analysis?
Don't you just love a Star Wars?
I love a Star Wars. Moving on though to next couple of.
I wrote Echo in big letters.
Echo.
Echo. Is there an Echo in here?
Yes. I love him. I think he's so silly and so funny. And it's so the line that Echo says, "Do you think you can trust that Hydra snake?" And Rampart's like, "I can't hear you." This entire episode is the epitome of sassy man apocalypse. They had these motherfuckers had a diva off with each other.
Diva off.
These divas.
No, they really did, because
I wrote so many quotes. I don't know if we should get through all those quotes, but there were so many quotable moments.
They have to go into this. They have to go to Coruscant, I think.
Yes.
To to go get the coordinates or whatever.
Yes.
To go to Texas. It's a whole thing. But they obviously have to be.
They have to go in disguise. They have to make. They dyed their armor all black to like blend in, and they gave Rampart an Imperial outfit.
He was like, "I can't wear this." And it says Captain, and they're like, "What are you? What the fuck?
What's wrong with that?"
He's like, "I was a vice admiral." Well, you've been demoted.
You are now not one of my elite employees. I wrote it in my notes. I was waiting to get to that part. You gave me the perfect setup. And then when he said, "You've been demoted," I literally said out loud, "You are now one of my elite employees."
Oh my god.
That moment ate that entire.
That was so good.
Oh my god. And then Hunter was the one who was like, well, you were an Imperial before, you can impersonate it again. It shouldn't be that hard for you, you snake. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Tell him, babe. I'm a Hunter girly. If I didn't make that, we should have made that clear. Episode 1. Nicole, she or hers, Hunter girl. What girly are you?
I don't know.
How do you not know? Who's plot twist is the one who's dead.
I was just gonna. You know why?
Do you like the dead one?
You know why? Because
you like so many characters who die in such a horrific but heroic fashion.
Oh my god.
Eddie Munson. I don't even know if I want to open.
We're not even touching that.
I'm not gonna open that box, but. You like so many characters that are just too heroic for their own good.
I literally, this was a while ago, but I was getting a bunch of stuff from a fan of.
Yes, of course.
We're not sponsored, but I just love their stuff.
Just a fan.
And they had different options for like which clone you want, and I was just putting a lot of tech stuff in my cart, and I don't know.
That answers my question. That's all I need to know. That's all I need. You should have just told me that, and that would have been my.
I don't know if it was just because like I miss him so much, or
you like
or
the
no.
Literally, my favorite's the dead one.
Can we continue when you say that? That was amazing. But also, I feel like Crosshair's kind of growing on me.
Oh, okay. I can. You do also like men you think you can fix.
It is Anakin. It is Hayden's birthday
at the time of filming. Who knows when this will come out? But at the time of filming, it is Hayden Christensen's birthday.
That is why I'm wearing my Skywalker t-shirt.
Yes, slay. Happy birthday, chosen one. Anyway, that was a tangent I did not mean to go off on, but I was just curious. I was curious what type of girly you were. That doesn't apply to real life though, because your favorite Beatle is the only one of the two who's still alive. Yeah. Mine's a dead one. I'm a George Harrison girly. I'm sorry. Oh my god! Imagine assigning the 4 living Bad Batch members we have to the 4 Beatles members. Well, that's another episode, but
we'll get into that.
We'll do a deep dive into who we think which Beatle resemble, or which Bad Batch member resembles which Beatle the most. That'll be a separate.
That'd be fun.
That'd be kind of funny. Anyway, where were we? I'm so sorry.
I don't know what this means. Emery well looked after her.
Oh yeah, so we cut to a quick scene of Emery telling Omega, "Don't worry, the kids are well looked after," and Omega is like, "I'd like to believe you."
Oh, I wrote, yeah, right?
Yeah. Omega, literally, in the most eloquent way of saying, yeah, right, ate her ass up. She said, I would like to believe that, and I'm sure you would like to believe that yourself, but we both know that's not true, girl. It's not true.
And she's making a plan to get out.
Yeah. She steals one of her little medical tools, kind of like shoves it under her
so stealthy.
Love her. Love how stealthy and sneaky and smart and calculated this little girl is. She's just incredible. She's just love her. And we have one of the other scientists kind of challenge Emery on her approach of surveillancing these kids. Emery's all, well, I'm the head scientist. I'm gonna run it like I want to. This is where I was like, oh, she's power hungry, power tripping. I don't know if that's a good route to go, but that's where we kind of see her. And Omega's telling the kids, I've escaped Tantus before, and I'm gonna do it again. And guess what? We're all going to Disneyland. I'm taking you with me.
We're all going together.
And I was like, period. I think we're all gonna escape. And I was like, period. And Jack says something about like, oh, but they're gonna know you're gone after a while. She says, that's okay. I like a challenge.
Tell him.
Queen shit only. Boss shit only. Boss girl shit only. So we get back to the boys, and they land on Coruscant. And they land by giving these fake coordinates that, fortunately enough, work out. Shoosh, they made it in. And before they go get off the ship, I think Wrecker says something like, "Don't mess this up." And the most ick I've ever gotten from a cartoon character, or animated character before, Rampart goes, I know how to carry myself. He brushed his hair back because I guess he thinks his hair looks sexy pushed back.
He's not Aaron Samuels.
He's not Aaron Samuels. He's not that girl. He goes, I know how to handle myself. It's y'all who are gonna look like overheated Gamorreans. I was like, somewhere in there was racist.
I said that I watched it here. Yeah. And I was like, that was a little racist.
I saw your reaction in real time. That was racially motivated.
It was. I wrote, you just need to name drop Tarkin and it's over. Because everyone is just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yeah. Some captain, right? It was a captain who tries to challenge him and be like, I don't know if this is authorized. And
it was lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Oh my God. Yeah. Because he said lieutenant, kind of spat that word at him. I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, the lieutenant kind of fucks off and was like, oh, my bad, sir.
No,
I didn't mean it.
Yeah, exactly.
Rampart was like, oh, I've missed this. Sir.
Sit down.
Stick to the script, and you'll be on your way.
Is it called ad-lib? No ad-libbing?
No improv. No improv. Stick to the script. So they get into the, what's the word? Rampart. Oh, the station. What is this? The station manifest. They get into the station manifest. Echo's doing everything he can to get.
He's working overtime.
He's because he's ready to lose his job. He's trying to get these coordinates, and he finds a vessel that is leaving to Tantus because whatever he was trying to do.
A scientific ship or whatever.
Something like that. But yeah, he's like, oh, look, here's this vessel that's going to Tantus. What if we just try to get the coordinates from there?
And it's literally impossible.
It's impossible because they only show up when the vessel takes off.
Yep.
So they're like, well, what if we just follow that thing? But then they're like, the proximity sensors, that's also going to be an issue. So they come up with this really quick, heroic little plan of Echo getting onto the vessel himself, then setting setting off the proximity sensors so that they can attach themselves to the ship because it's gonna go into hyperspace.
So we cut back to Omega and the kids, and she's talking about how what the layout is of the facility and how they're gonna escape, basically. And so she's just like, I need a distraction. And at the right moment, she goes to her room and she opens up the tile where the, I guess the droid put the blood sample in. And it looks like there's space for you to, like, move through. That's what
it was like equivalent to like an elevator shaft.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like all these floors that you can kind of see upwards to.
So, she breaks in with her little tool and the tiles start falling. And I audibly gasped.
I got so scared.
I was so nervous for her. And the other scientist, I forgot her name.
I don't think she was given a name. And if she was...
I think it started with an S. Anyway, she's she sees that something is like, something's a little off about the...
Because Omega's kind of like... Yeah. Because all the kids are in the center and
she's
Omega
on her own.
In her room
so,
for a unusually long time.
Yeah. So she goes, and she goes down to the main area and she's trying to like see what's up, and she goes into Omega's room and then Omega's just like chilling, playing her little game.
Yeah, she kind of like put those tiles back up real quick.
This
too.
girl props.
She's fast.
Yeah, because I would have been scrambling.
Oh no.
You would have seen me.
I would have. That's you, and yeah, I agree. I would have just jumped out.
I thought Omega probably would have I thought she was probably gonna jump in.
True,
but
and kind of
she wasn't gonna leave the other kids.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, she's like, is something wrong? Is everything okay?
Are you good here? You good?
what's and so pleasant to see you here.
And that scientist didn't say a word. She was
like, oh,
walked off. She just huffed and puffed, and I was like, yep, that's exactly what I thought. So when Omega goes back out to the kids, they ask her, so what'd you find? And she says, our way out. And that reminded me so vividly of Andor when they start chanting one way out. Yeah. And I was like, I really hope that we get that similar outcome then, that everybody manages to escape. It was really exciting. And I think I saw on Twitter somebody kind of like photoshopped Omega's outfit, because it's like an all white outfit or something, whatever they have in the vault, and they put orange stripes,
orange stripes,
like they have like the prisoners had in Andor, and I was like, honestly, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm really excited to see where that kicks off because I know when Omega has a goal and a mission, she will see it through no matter what. So I'm really excited to see what happens there. Jump back to the Batch and Rampart. They are they're waiting for Echo to get sucked up into this vessel because we saw some little R2 units rolling around as he's like skulking around, and the way they get sucked up, I don't know why. Yeah, it's like Augustus. Charlie Chocolate Factory, and the chocolate tubes just go.
Oh my god.
Kind of like that. That's what it made me think of. So yeah, one of the other clones on the dock is trying to like suss him out because he hears something, and then we don't know where Echo goes, and I'm like, oh, he got sucked up as well. I can imagine. The Batch and Rampart are waiting on their ship for the proximity sensors to be turned off from Echo. Echo makes it onto the vessel successfully, and I cannot tell you how stressed I was this last bit of this episode, because even Rampart was like, I was starting to understand Rampart because he was like, we're wasting time, he probably got captured, let's just fucking leave, like this is not gonna work out, this is not what I signed up for, it's not gonna work out
if you don't shut.
I was like, well, if you don't, it's the fuck down. But yeah, all that stress and all that just agony for Echo to get it, because Crosshair even says, relax, Echo's on it. I was like,
okay, that's what it was, because I wrote down Crosshair says things that are endearing, kind of like affirmations to his brothers and to Omega, but I forgot what the quote was, and that's what it was.
Yeah, he's like, relax, Echo's got it. I'm like, yes, he does. And he knows that.
Maybe Crosshair is my favorite.
Watch him be the next dead one.
Nicole!
You like the dead one?
Stop it! Why would you say this?
Why would you text me in that tone?
I'm gonna put my melody thing.
But that's where we end up in the episode. They
made it to the shuttle.
Yeah, they made it, and they successfully attached themselves, and they go into hyperspace.
Oh my god, it was
so many stress-inducing moments in these past couple of episodes. Yeah, like I was just clenching a lot, my jaw. But who stood out to you the most in these past 4 episodes?
Cad Bane.
Oh yes, valid, very valid.
Omega,
of course,
and probably Crosshair.
Yeah, those are some good, solid choices. For me, I would love to say Echo, of course. Echo, we don't give him enough credit.
We do not. He deserves all the flowers, the accolades, every single thing that he...
even then some. I feel like if we did, it just wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough. So I want to say Echo. Echo really stood out to me, the strongest out of all 4 of them. Literally the brains of their operations most of the time. And of course Omega too. Echo and Omega, the 2 of them really stood out to me for these past couple of episodes. So we're down to the wire. We have 2 more to go. 2 more episodes to go, and then we say goodbye
forever. Wait, I just got chills.
Your eyes got so glassy.
I'm literally gonna cry right now. I don't want to say goodbye, but we're gonna have to say goodbye, and I just keep putting that Dobby.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to say goodbye to the Bad Batch and Omega and all these characters that we've gotten to know in the past seasons. But I just wonder how they're gonna wrap everything up in 2 more episodes.
I saw someone say something, and I don't want to believe it. It's not I don't think it's a spoiler, but I just don't want to say it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, not even close.
Should I even say it? I don't want to say it.
I don't know.
It's not a spoiler. I don't think it is a spoiler.
So then go for it. Say it.
Someone said... Someone on the Instagrams was like, If they get Rogue One,
Ooh.
I'm gonna Rogue One. And I was like, oh my god.
Themselves are like the planet. Because that sounds.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
If the batch gets Rogue One, I'm gonna Rogue One. That's what they wrote, and I'm like,
Lord.
oh my god. Probably same. How can you give us these characters and then take them away?
Oh my god. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because again, I really don't know how they're gonna wrap up the entire story of all these characters in just 2 episodes. But I just want to see Omega run her little rebellion, her little mission, break everybody free. I want to see her reunited with the boys again. And I want to see what the results will be of this whole project of Project Necromancer. I
mean, I think we know what happens.
No,
obviously, but it's just we want to just fill in the little gaps here and there of just.
I just want to see it played out. Yeah. I want to see how it plays out.
The pieces are there, kind of. We're still missing a lot, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I wonder how they're gonna do two more episodes. It's gonna be really bittersweet. Say goodbye. There she goes again. Oh my lord.
It's funny because when you laugh, you cry.
That's so wow.
You tear. No, we have video evidence.
No. I'm just saying, yeah. What does that say about us as humans? That I only cry when I'm laughing really hard when I'm experiencing it.
No, but it's good.
No, I know, but you don't cry when you're laughing.
I think it has to be past 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, it has to be past 1 a.m. and something so not funny to be funny.
No, not even. It could be something really funny, but it has to be after a certain time. And I will
start crying.
I will sound like a tea kettle.
That's true. I've heard it. I've heard it
firsthand. It was after 1 a.m.
Yeah. I've heard it firsthand.
But yeah,
it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, but
I don't know how I'm gonna cope.
I don't know how. I don't know how. I'm nervous to see you when the day comes.
Oh brother, this guy stinks.
But we'll see how we get there. When we get there, we get there. Is that all?
I think so.
All. We went through a lot in these 4 episodes. We try to cover as much as we can while also putting in our inputs and our hopes and dreams for how this
aspirations.
And how this whole thing is gonna end. So thank y'all for tuning into episode 5 of Naboo York City. And we'll see you guys real soon for the finale episodes of The Bad Batch. And we'll have some more guests coming on.
Yes, we're very excited.
Yeah. And we'll talk more about the Star Wars community and cosplay and all these types of things in the next couple of episodes. So be well, Naboo Yorkers. And
that's what we figured out before from our last episode. We're gonna
right. You guys are Naboo Yorkers now. So wear that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, because we don't just give that out.
We don't give that out to just anybody. So we'll see you next time on the Naboo York City podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Naboo Yorkers. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
And this rattling ass apartment.
the teacup sounds like the zombie thing.
Oh, almost sat on my son. Oh, I'm never gonna beat the bad mother allegations.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to me annihilating my own son.
Again.
Words association, go. Just be like.
That actually hurt my. Oh my god. Watch me wake up with a bruise.
Great. Indefinite cancel of Naboo York City podcast. Assault on set.
I thought you were doing the Issa Rae.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to do.
I didn't know you were actually gonna. Oh my